Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Shorty SX and welcome to Quick Scope Tips Episode 5, where I'll be teaching you how to actually do well and succeed in a free-for-all, especially with a sniper or, as a quick scoper. And the cool thing about this is I'm actually bringing you an awesome gameplay, because it's a 30 for 4 on Strikezone. Clearly, just with the USR, no kill streaks, no lethals. But the cool thing about this gameplay was it was actually just my second game in. And you're actually going to see me miss a few shots, especially at the beginning of the game when I'm still trying to, kind of get my aim and warm up. But the funny thing is I actually managed to survive and do pretty well despite all of those things, mostly because of some of the tips I'm actually going to share with you guys today. And the reason this is actually pretty good gameplay for what I'm talking about is because, well, Strikezone is kind of on the same wavelength as one of those small maps like Dome or Nuketown from previous CODs. And, well, those maps for free-for-all have always been very hectic, or, well, right down chaotic, because people tend to spawn all over the place, there's, very little space, you're going to run into campers or rushers, and it's usually pretty hard to actually keep your deaths down. So, before we get on with the tips, just a final little reminder, please consider dropping a like if this video actually helps you or if you enjoyed it, because otherwise people have a really hard time finding these videos. So, alright, the first tip I really have to share with you is the one tip I've shared with a ton of people, and anyone who's usually taken this seriously has come back to me and said, wow, that actually helped out quite a bit. And that tip is always, always, always expect people behind you in free-for-all. That is my main tip to anyone who's not, used to playing free-for-all or is kind of new to it, because just because of how, the spawn systems work and the amount of space you have on any given map, it's always the best idea to, if you just shot somebody right in front of you, to always turn around and check right behind you, just in case. In a lot of my videos, people usually think I have like a sixth sense or something because I constantly check behind me and, oh look, there's a person right there and I killed them. But that's usually because I'm just expecting there to be a person behind me, and that's mostly because of how the spawns work. Now that's my second tip, is learn how the spawns work, because that's very important. And I'm not talking about like, like homework style where you just pull out a map and go, oh, I have to memorize all these spawns. It's not even that important to memorize the specific spawns. I mean, if you can learn them, great. But if not, just try to like get a sense of where people are running from. As a little side note to the gameplay, this was actually a gameplay where I got a tremendous amount of hit markers. Like, it was unbelievable how many hit markers I got compared to, my normal gameplay. But anyway, so back on my topic with the spawn points is you just need a general sense of where people are coming from. And the one rule I've always followed with spawns and free-for-all is, think about it this way. Like, as much as we like to hate on spawns, the game developers do put effort and time into trying to make them as nice as possible. And the two rules I've always gone with is, look, in free-for-all, everybody's an enemy. So the map, in terms of trying to find, a place to spawn a new person, is usually pretty hard because there's people everywhere. And at the same time, it always seems to factor in whether you're looking at the spawn or not. So I'm always thinking, if I'm not looking at a spawn, like if there's a spawn right behind you and you just killed somebody or a bunch of people just died, well, guess what? It's very likely that somebody's going to spawn in that spawn right behind you. So always be expecting that and always kind of be prepared for it. Now, as my next little tip is just going to be, don't run around corners, as in don't be a rusher. Like, know the game. I mean, you can be a rusher, but just know the game you're in. If you're in a game with a ton of campers, like you'll see me doing a lot of my gameplays, just be careful. Like, when you walk around corners, check those corners, learn where people are camping, learn where you can expect them to be camping, especially for the game you're playing, because, people are different, especially in free-for-all, you're going to run into a lot of different things. So just be careful and don't sprint around, especially if people are in corners, because otherwise, they're just going to kill you and it's going to annoy you and you're going to quit and be like, I hate free-for-all, it's bad, when it can be a lot of fun. Now, the last little tip I'm going to give you is patrolling is very important. Now, if you don't know what patrolling is, it basically means like taking apart the map, like let's say, I don't know, this area I'm in right here, this little shop, and patrolling it or just running around. The problem is an area like the shop I just showed you, the one I'm in, is not big enough to actually be a patrol spot. Like, that's close to the camping, and the problem with any of that and why camping is a horrible idea, not because it's annoying to people, but just because it's not a good playstyle, is because if I know you're there, if I know you're patrolling or camping that area, it doesn't matter. I'm going to come back and kill you, and I'm going to have such a drop on you, you're not going to be able to do anything about it. So even if you patrol an area, just remember to move away from that area after a little while and not let people, come back and just kill you easily. But anyway, I hope this helped you guys. I hope you enjoyed this awesome gameplay, and I'll catch you tomorrow with some more. Peace.